topic. All right. Now, I'm actually rearranging the order because there was something that Shinwar and I was talking about in reference to Evo
What?
2015. All right.
Mm-hmm.
The lineup. Now, my thing is, okay, they have a good, assortment of titles. And Nelson had brought up a point, and we already came to an agreement on why they left out certain games. But for the sake of our podcast, I wanted to bring that up: the absence of King of Fighters and Dead or Alive. I have a problem with that because King of Fighters and when Bala was playing, that still got hype. You know what I mean? When he was doing um, Takuma's like, hey, hey, hey combo. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
it kind of baffles my mind that they gave priority to games like Tekken 7, which is not officially out yet, and then MKX that's not out yet. I get they're new tracking, but Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Ultimate, I think they could have done without it. You know what I mean? But it's that's just my opinion.
What?
But going around the table, I'm gonna give Shinwar the floor first. Your thoughts on the Evo lineup for this year's event?
Right. Well, I'm fine with the lineup. I don't understand why they have to have two Smash games, but I was watching Maximilian's reaction video to that, and he made a good point. The older Smash game is sort of like Super Turbo, so it's that classic game. It has that nostalgia about it, and people still play it, so that's fine. Even though I still feel like it's taking up a slot, which probably could have been used for KOF or DOA.
Exactly, exactly.
Tekken 7 is gonna be arcade machine, which is cool. I think that's cool. Namco Bandai, they're trying to push that product, and that's fine. But with Tekken only being the only 3D fighting game, I think they could have put DOA in there.
I agree.
What else? MKX, we knew that was in there. Injustice didn't make the roster this year, so that's cool. They have Persona 4 and what's the other one? Guilty Gear. Guilty Gear makes its return, I believe, after 3 years, so that's definitely cool.
Yes.
That's gonna have a strong showing. Killer Instinct with the season 2 re-up, that's gonna be cool. Ultimate Marvel, I'm glad it's still there because it's the last
What?
one as of right now. It's the last one as of right now, so that's a mainstay, and it's gonna be like Marvel vs. Capcom 2. It's gonna be there for a while. And obviously Ultra Street Fighter 4, and I hope there's a side Omega tournament, but who knows? And hopefully we'll get to see Street Fighter 5 demoed again at Evo. So
I, I'm
that's all
al-
I have
I'm
to say.
almost counting on that, Shinwar. I believe they'll have a build with more characters. That
Yeah.
the rumor that was on Shoryuken and Event Hubs. So that should be remain to be seen. But you made a good point. The only 3D fighter that would have, Virtual Fighter is still gonna have, I guess, its own side thing. But Dead or Alive, last round, that's a
Yeah.
new installment in there. That's no different than Ultra Street Fighter 4, Super Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, and vanilla. You know what I mean? Like I think they could have included DOA 4. But brother Noob, what are your thoughts on the exclusion of freaking King of Fighters and Dead or Alive? And then what are your thoughts on this new lineup?
Um, I agree with Shinwar, man. It's like change it up. And when I say change it up drastically. Give those other games and those other top tier gamers and other games a chance to shine and let them become household names as well. It's like those guys are
Hmm.
like grinding up from the bottom. And also, I don't know if it's a hey, Capcom sliding us extra money or sponsorship thing to take the main stage and Nintendo doing the same thing or what. But I would like to see more games showcased because I mean Street Fighter sometimes it does get a little stale. You get tired of seeing the same
Christian
characters and the
Bale.
same people play the same way every year. You know what I mean? And then you're expanding the fight community when you expose someone who may not have the game to the game
What?
by showing it tournament style and saying, "Oh, I didn't know this game had this feature or that feature." So I feel like you shouldn't limit yourself, man. Change it up. If it was up to me, I would showcase. I would rotate. I would have a rotation and say, "Hey, we're still gonna do all these games, but this year these two are going to be in the spotlight, and then next year these two are going to be in the spotlight to give everybody some shine.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah,
because Street Fighter is always the main event.
yeah,
Always the
but
main event.
yeah, that will never change. It's Street
Mm-mm.
Fighter, the godfather of fighting games. But
Hmm.
no, I feel you. I definitely feel you. That's why they do give
I think it
rotations
might change.
to the other games. What
I
happened?
think it might change because you got to look at it with Street Fighter now moving to just one console and PC.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, if these top tier game, I mean, it's up to us. If these top tier gamers and tournament players decide, you know what, let's play Tekken instead. Let's play, King of Fighters instead. Let's play Dead or Alive instead. Then that's out. They're gonna showcase what's getting the views
Hmm.
Hmm.
and what
Okay.
people want. So we have that power, but I mean, and then like again, all those guys have to console swap now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if they didn't have both consoles, they now have to buy the new console and build their whole new community on a whole nother platform. That's a lot of work.
Mm.
You know what I mean? That's a lot of work because you're moving to a console where you don't know anybody now, unless you already had both. So
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you. All right. Now, on your knees, I know I didn't give you a chance to prepare for this topic, so you don't have to comment on this one. I'll save you for the Windows side of things. But
Alright.
Nelson, your thoughts on this stuff?
All right, now I can finally talk. Okay.
We heard you the whole time.
No, you didn't. All right,
Yes, we
but
did.
this is my opinion. I'm not trying to make this into like factual or anything like that. The reason why they're trying to choose the games that they are showing of 2015 this year's Evo because one, there's three to four new games that they're trying to highlight this year, so they can get some airtime since it's like the new release. Like Killer Instinct, of course, was last year's Evo, but they're doing it again. You have Guilty Gear Xrd, you have Tekken 7, and you have one other fucking game besides both of the Smash Brothers, Marvel, and Street Fighter. It's one other game I can't
MKX?
remember. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Mortal Kombat 10. All the other games are not gonna be subsided. They're not gonna be counted out. They will still be played, but on a different stream. Mind you, Evo is huge. And it's not as small as you guys think it is. You'll still have your Kings of Fighters. You'll still have your Tekken Tag. You'll still have your Dead or Alive. Your Mortal Kombat 9. Classic Hyper Street Fighter 2 Turbo. All that will be either on the Mad Cat side of the stage or one of the 7 streamers that will be presented there. So nothing will be left out. You'll have to watch other streams, and you can always go to multi-Twitch, which is something that we done in the past, and you can check them all out all at the same time, so you guys could get your fill.
Okay, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So, my thing is, I think that DOA and King of Fighters still has that niche. It's still
That
viable.
niche.
It's still viable.
But it's to a
and
hardcore
King
fan
of Fighters
base.
is keeping King of Fighters and Guilty Gear are keeping that animated 2D that we grew up on alive.
But you see, Guilty Gear switched to the cell shaded. But when I was streaming Guilty Gear XR and Shinmar was watching it, he's like, "Is that 2D?" I'm like, "No, it's 3D."
Yeah.
But the way that it's done, you can't
Oh.
tell. It looks like King of Fighters 13, but 3D. Because you'll notice when they do certain clash effects, the camera will rotate, but you cannot
Oh.
tell. They did it really, really well. But with that, New Gaming Order, those of you who are on the live stream, we're going to take a 30-second intermission so that Nelson can break up the video. And for our YouTube people, if you want to come back, we're actually going to be talking about the Microsoft Windows 10 and the Halo Studio and a lot of things that might be changing gaming. So if you guys are done, we'll see you next time. For our live folks, stand by. We're going on standby for a minute. Nelson's going to do his thing, and we'll be right back. So, Nelson, do your magic.